Hello there, wonderful people. I'm Anastasia, and this is Live Sustainably with me. In my very first video, we talked about what sustainable living is, and we agreed that it is not a journey, it is a mindset. Today, we're going to put these words into action and look at one of the most important aspects of it, optimism, even in moments when hope is almost gone. We very often find ourselves in moments of sorrow and suffering. And I'm about to say something even more interesting. Suffering is a little bit of a comfort zone because it's a me zone where I am the victim and the world around me is unfair or not understanding me. We also often think that suffering is something that we need to go through in order to get to something good, because life is hard and we need to deserve something good. Whilst I totally get it, and it's so deep in our minds and beliefs, it doesn't really have to be like this. If we asked Sadhguru, the Indian yogic and the spirituality master, he would say that life is very easy and full of happiness. And it is up to us to decide, how do we see the world? Do we see it through the happy lens or through the unhappy lens? Let me explain how this works. Even if all the external factors that usually make us unhappy were eliminated, like politics, relationship, money, weather, health, brands, whatever makes us unhappy, if we look at the world from an unhappy lens, we would still find ways to feel unhappy, even with us, ourselves, because we're too fat, we're too lazy, we're too spiritually weak, our hair is too thin, and our nails are too short, and many other things. So it's really up to us to choose if we're going to look at the world from a happy angle, love ourselves and love the world around us, or we're going to look at it from an unhappy angle. Furthermore, all it really takes is when we wake up in the morning before we switch on our phones, just to tell ourselves, are we going to be a smiley person today or a grumpy person today? And the moment we consciously tell ourselves that we're going to be a happy person today, a smiley person, the whole world and the whole day ahead of us is going to transform. And even the worst news that we're going to receive this day are never going to look the same dramatically terrible. Instead, we're going to instantly see the opportunities to improve the situation, and we're instantly going to see hope. How many of us often feel helpless and hopeless with the corporations and politicians? How often do we tend to blame people around us for our own unhappiness and for where they have actually brought us? Blame as suffering can be quite a tricky and addictive feeling too, because it takes away our responsibility and subconsciously makes us feel better. No, I would love to live sustainably, but it's the big corporations that are putting plastic products in front of me, so I have to buy them. The truth is that the system changes starts inside of us, and the economic and political structures that we have today are the product and the result of our way of thinking. Let me put this into perspective and give you an example. When little babies are born, they start absorbing like a sponge everything around them. Our words, our moods, our reactions and actions, our behaviors and our thoughts. Once they grow up, they go to schools, kindergartens, universities, and they start absorbing everything around them from their teachers and their classmates. Finally, we all grow up and we go to work and we completely get socialized. This is we start influencing each other even more by exchanging energies and thoughts and minds and words and feelings. No single baby in this world is born with a mission to make this world worse or more unequal. So it's really somewhere along the growing journey that the wrong systems get installed into new generations' mindsets. And it's really our lack of desire and persistence to really make this world better and adopt sustainable living that is preventing us to getting there. But the reality is, if we all decided to become these influencers, these points of reference, these drivers of change ourselves, whether it comes to our kids or friends or family or colleagues, we could change the systems within 2-3 generations only. If you've ever had a pet in your house, you know that animals are joyfully optimistic. They wake up in a good mood, they go to sleep in a good mood, they accept our anger with dignity, and they forgive us in seconds. And when the time has come, they know that death is close, and they meet it with dignity and conviction. The reason for all of that is the animals have much higher level of self-awareness and understanding of their mission on this planet. No one teaches them their mission. They just feel it intuitively. All these bugs and bees and butterflies and even snails and worms, if we pay close attention, they are busy and on a mission every single day, actively running somewhere. When we know what we are here for, our life becomes joyfully meaningful and easy. And when the day or our life is over, we feel relaxed and accomplished because we know that we've achieved what we came for. We humans have a very powerful tool, knowledge. We can solve complex problems. And COVID pandemic is a very good example when everyone, one way or another, worked together towards solving a big complex issue. And while doctors and scientists were taking a leading role in all of this, people like you and I were helping too. First of all, we were all united by trust, hope, and encouragement towards these doctors and scientists. But also, we were finding little missions for ourselves in helping people around us, physically or emotionally. We were all incredibly optimistic and united by a desire to make things happen. It just couldn't be any other way. No matter how painful knowledge can be, it's not about running away from it. It's actually completely the opposite. It is about celebrating the opportunity to make a difference where we all, on our own little level, can become the catalyst of change. We can become part of the solution. Constantly identifying these little challenges and little missions for ourselves, adding on to a bigger solution. Nailing global warming or social and economic inequalities really requires changing our mind, finding inner strengths, finding this optimism, making things happen no matter what. Just like with COVID, it just can't be any other way. Even when newspapers are scary to read and the numbers are not speaking in our favors, we need to continue doing our part, finding our little missions and working towards a bigger solution altogether. And it all starts with changing our thought patterns. Because our thoughts can be our biggest allies or can be our biggest enemies, as our minds love to create illusions, thoughts and problems that don't really exist, or even create a pessimistic future that doesn't necessarily have to happen. So, waking up in the morning and before picking up the phone, telling ourselves that it's going to be a good day and I'm going to achieve something incredibly important today, setting up these little missions, these baby steps, achieving them and then celebrating them in the evening, all of these are optimism in its purest action. And with time, optimism inside of us is going to get stronger and stronger, like a muscle, reversing the thought patterns in our mind. It is now optimism that is dictating our thoughts and shaping the sustainable future that we all want to get to. Optimism is beautiful and energizing, just like the sun, but only the one that lives inside of us. It is empowering. It makes us jump out of the bed every single morning and embrace this day with a big smile. But just as with the real sun, sometimes it gets covered with clouds, pessimism, bad thoughts, anger, blame, sufferings. So it is really up to us to decide if our tomorrow is going to be sunny or cloudy. And why would we cover our own internal sun with clouds when we can let it shine and light our day?